Good morning, everyone. We have some summer vibes going here in northern Michigan. It was 60 degrees this morning. It's going to be almost 80. That's unheard of. So we're very excited about that. So we're going to be talking about our new coldwellbanker.com website. Our coldwellbanker.com website went through a refresh in 2 stages. They did the main page last year. We got the great move meter. We got the seller insurance. We got all of that information. Phase 2 launched on April 24th, and that's when Zap officially retired. And instead of having Zap websites, our agents now have profiles on coldwellbanker.com, all fed from Dash. Headshots, bios, phone numbers, social media links, all comes from Dash now to coldwellbanker.com. They no longer have a separate platform that they have to keep updated. So it's a great thing. Along with the new launch of coldwellbanker.com is our new team profiles. We've never had these before, so it's very exciting. So I want to show you a little bit about the team profiles, what they look like, how it ties into Dash, and then we'll talk about how that ties into the agent and or teams awards. It's a very important conversation to have. I know it's only May, so we're not even looking at award season, but we do have from now until October to deal with our teams in Dash. And a lot of you have never even seen what that looks like. So I do want to cover that today. So let's jump right in by going to coldwellbanker.com. This is the new site. If you've not been on here, highly encourage you to go. Yes, there's glitches, just like any new technology. Some agents are missing headshots. There's a very known issue with agents showing up in regions in which they don't service. So we are working through that with the brand. So if you go and type in, say, Traverse City, Michigan, to find an agent, you get all 700 Michigan agents. No bueno. So we are working on that with the brand's help desk. We don't quite have it rectified yet. Missing headshots, agents showing up that are no longer with us, all of that can be handled through the help desk as well. What we just do is check Dash, as long as the agent is termed properly. If they're showing on coldwellbanker.com, just send a note to help@coldwellbanker.com. They'll take care of it for us. Headshots in Dash, but it's not showing up on coldwellbanker.com. Also help@coldwellbanker.com can help us with those. As long as Dash looks right, that's as far as we can go with it. Then we do have to reach out to the help desk. So again, if you've not been on here, highly recommend you take a look. We're going to go to agents and offices, and we're going to search for an agent. I'm going to do by name because I know the example team profile I want to show you is for Mark Hagan here locally in Traverse City. We do have to realize that there's a fold here. So when you type that name in, you saw my screen slightly moved, but it doesn't look like it did anything. I'm asking for the brand to update this because a lot of consumers will be like, it didn't work. Well, you just got to scroll a little bit and there it is. So it is a little confusing. I don't know if you guys have gotten that feedback. If you have, shoot me a quick note. I would love to add fuel to the fire when I talk to the brand. But do know after you type for that, you do have to search. Now, it does depend on what kind of browser you're in, how closely you're zoomed in or zoomed out. Mobilely, it works a little bit differently too. But do know that if an agent's complaining about that, they simply have to scroll down. So there is no way to search for a team. You search for the agent, and then when you pull up the agent's profile, if they have a team, you're going to see it right here. So it explains about the agent. It has their bio, which we know feeds from Dash, from their personal profile. And then it has their listings, their solds, as long as your MLS allows it. That is a caveat. Your MLS has to allow sold data to feed. And then you can see here, it has the information about his team, Mark Hagan Real Estate Professionals. There's no photo here because there's not one in Dash, or if there is, then I have to reach out to the help desk. So we'll check that in a minute. So when you click on the team profile, it's going to pull up the team's listings, the team's sold, and then the whole team as it pertains to Dash. This has to be updated in Dash of everybody on the team. This link can be copied. It can be purchased with a URL, a vanity URL. If the agents want to use this team profile as a landing page, they can do that with that sticky URL up there. So you can see it's a really team-friendly profile that we never had before. We just never had this available to the agents. So this is out there and available. If you're going through your rosters and you're like, wow, I don't see I sell real estate team, and I know they're a team. They're an account tech as a team, but they're not showing here. It's because they have to be reflected in Dash. We know everything feeds from account tech to Dash, except for teams. I know that sounds silly, but that's where we're at right now. The teams have to be notated in account tech. That has everything to do with the agent's financials, how their commissions are paid and such. When it comes to the team in Dash, that has everything to do with the marketing end of it, how they look online. And then it has to do with their awards. Are they getting a team award or are they getting an individual award? And we're talking International Sterling Society, International Diamond, President's Club, all of those things are what we're talking about when we reference teams. So account tech has to be set up with a team. And again, that has everything to do with their financials. The regional commission specialist, accounting team, they take care of that. But the team has to be done in Dash as well in order to reflect properly online and to have their awards correctly. So let's jump into Dash. This is Dash. I know we've been doing some training because we were very excited to think we never had to deal with Dash anymore when we got account tech. We know that's not true. We do have to go into Dash for a few things. So in this particular case, we're going to go to the left and we're going to go where it says people and we're going to go to people home. You can see right here is add new team. But before you start adding your teams, we want to go to people home. Once that loads, you want to toggle where it says active people. You want to go to active teams. This will show you your teams. Now, if you have office access to Dash, you're going to see just your office. If you have a regional access to Dash, you're going to see your region. What you're seeing now is the entire state of Michigan because I'm in my Michigan Dash and I have access to the whole state. So you can see we have 26 teams in the state of Michigan and it will tell you the team name. And then when you click on it, you can go to update details or view details. Let's jump into update details. You'll be able to give it a team name, the active date, and then you can add team members. You can also term team members. If you had an agent that was on a team, decided to go into an individual role with us, or maybe unfortunately left us, you can also leave the team intact, but add or remove team members as well. So say Kyle and Steven wanted a new team member, you click the little plus sign there. And as you start typing names, anybody that's in your Dash as an active agent will come up. I'm not an agent, so I didn't come up. So that was a bad example. And then you simply click on it, give them the active date, and then you can move on. And then also if they're going to term, then you come in here and give it a term date, deactivation date, and that will remove them from the team. You can add contact details for the address, the phone number, if they have a team website, and you can also give the team a bio. Now we know for the agents, it has to be put into account tech because that's going to flow through to Dash. That's going to feed cobabanker.com. That's going to feed Moxie. Teams are a little bit differently. Teams profiles have to be put in Dash. There is nowhere in account tech as of today to put the team bio. So that can be done here. And then once you are done with your team, you click save. Now teams are all different. If we have 100 teams, we're going to have 100 different team plans and they're going to be set up 100 different ways. Teams are very specific to that individual team. So if you're unsure, if you're like, I know, Joe and Sally work together, but I don't know if they're actually a team. I don't know how they market. I don't know how they want to see their awards. Talk with your manager. Your manager will have that conversation with the agents, and then we'll be able to set them up correctly with how they want to operate. But keep in mind, I'll reiterate, account tech teams have to be done for the financial end of it, how the commissions are paid. Dash teams have to be done for marketing purposes and for awards. So that is the differentiation. If you have a team, they need to be done in both and set up how that team wants to operate. And again, your managers will have that conversation and then be able to get with the ASCs or RSCs to get the system set up correctly. I'm going to go ahead and back out of this so that I don't update Kyle's team. We're going to go back to people. We're going to go back to people home. I would like to discard my changes, absolutely. And then we're going to go back into active teams. So keep in mind, if they're not on this list, the brand does not think they're a team and they will get their awards on the individual basis. So what does that mean? Let's jump over to desk and we're going to go to the left and we're going to go to, I'm sorry, bear with me, My Business, Awards and Production. And then you can see all of our award assets are here. We have resources, our winners, social media assets. We're going to go into resources. Right here, first thing, you're going to see the 2023 National Awards Criteria chart. Now, keep in mind, this is on the residential side. If you need to know about your commercial awards, you want to jump into CBC Desk. This is just on the residential side. So these are our these are our award designations. There's 3 different things that will affect how an agent gets their award at the end of the year. Are they an individual? Are they a team of 1 to 3 members? Are they a team of 4+ members? If that team's not in dash here, they are automatically considered an individual. Doesn't matter how they're paid, how they operate, how they're marketing themselves. If they're not in dash, they don't exist to the brand as a team. So we do want to make sure that we get our dash reflecting correctly. If they used to be a team and they're still in dash as a team, they're going to be up there on that team criteria. So you can see, obviously, the more people you have, the more real estate you sell. So your criteria is higher. And the brand only cares about 2 things, GCI or units. It's not based on volume. So you can see for International Society of Excellence, an individual has to have 1 million in GCI or 160 units. But when you jump to a team of 1 to 3 members, obviously it goes up. So that's why we need to have our agents help them understand what it means to be a team. Now, if they're not in there today, there's no reason to panic. If they created their team this year, they didn't really come to us, so we didn't know it, so they're not in dash, that's okay. We have from now until October to get dash reflecting correctly. After October, the brand puts a blackout on dash when it comes to teams. So we can't change teams. Doesn't mean we don't have a little bit of it in with the brand. We can text Paula or Jeannie and ask them to make some of those changes, but they do put us in a blackout. And because that's getting close to the end of award season, they want to make sure everything's set up properly. So again, no panic. If they have units in GCI from before they were put into a team, and then we add the team before the end of the year, they will still be considered a team and they will fall under whatever team category they fall on. Keep in mind though, if they are no longer a team, but they still show in dash, their awards will be messed up because it's going to put them under the team criteria. So very, very important to keep dash updated. And more excitingly, now that we have our team profiles on coldwellbanker.com, that will all tie to dash. So let's go back to the Mark Hagan Real Estate Professionals profile. You can see all, oops, too far. You can see the team here. So when we go back to dash and we find the Mark Hagan team, right here, and we go in here and we want to just click view details this time, you'll see that the members are here. Now, some of these members have deactivation dates, so they are no longer members of the team. They will not show on the profile, but you can see everybody: Hagan, Donna, Annette, Stephen, Donald, Gregory, Misty, Gordon. Those are all the ones that are populating the team profile. So that's how that correlates. And then because obviously he has 4+ members, his criteria for awards from the brand will fall under this column here. So very important to make sure dash is reflecting correctly. Now, remember, every team is different. Just because they market together doesn't mean they want to be considered a team. So have the conversation with your managers, let the managers have the conversation with the agents, and then we can, on the back end, make sure that it's reflecting properly so that they do market correctly on coldwellbanker.com, and they also get the correct awards at the end of the year. I do see a question, so let me take a moment and look at that. Yes, Stephanie. So in this case, her agents have headshots and transaction plan. They're reflecting in dash correctly, but they're not populating the website. That's when you want to email help@coldwellbanker.com. Send them a screenshot of dash. It's usually easiest just to give them screenshots. So screenshot dash showing the headshot, and then tell them that it's not populating coldwellbanker.com. They can do a refresh on their end and pull that headshot in. I just did it earlier this week for an agent. Took them about 24 hours to respond, which is kind of unfortunate, but it is the way to update it. And then you can also let the agent know that you've engaged the help desk and we're going to get it corrected. Because past dash, there's nothing in Coldwell Banker that we can update ourselves. It's all done from the help desk. So great question. Laura, I'll have to take a look at that. I believe Laura out of Cadillac had a good point. She's seeing all of Michigan's teams as well. If you remember when we launched Leads Engine, we did have to give every ASC company level access so that they could get into Leads Engine. It's not a great setup. We've asked for them to correct that, but that's where we're at today. So that's probably why you're seeing all the teams. So good point there. In theory, it should be done by office level, but because of the setting they made us change for Leads Engine, that's probably why you're seeing all of them. So just go ahead and filter through them to find your office and make sure that your offices are correct. So thanks for pointing that out, Laura, but that is the why. All right, I don't see any other questions. So again, to reiterate, fantastic new team profiles. If you have teams in your office, they probably don't even know about this yet. So feel free to send them that link. Say, hey, have you seen your new team profile? Let's get a bio up. Let's get a logo up. Let's do all this. Help them get that updated. And then go ahead and make sure in Dash over to the left under People and People Home, you are reviewing your teams to make sure that they are set up correctly. If you want to see this great awards criteria for 2023, I haven't actually audited it yet. I don't think it changed over 2022, but I haven't checked that yet. But you do clearly see it is for this year. You can find that in Desk. You just go over to My Business, Awards and Production, Award Resources, and it is right here. Now, keep in mind, this is residential specific. To get the commercial award breakdowns, you want to go into CBC Desk. Same thing, go into business, go into awards. It's right there. But again, at the end of the year, we all have a lot of agents saying, hey, I got an individual award, but I'm on a team. Well, if it's not in Dash, it doesn't exist to the brand. So if you have any questions at all, feel free to reach out. Again, if you're not sure, get with your managers. Your managers can help with this. They either know how the team wants to operate or they can have that conversation with the team. And then we can make sure that our systems reflect properly. Account Tech needs a team for financial purposes. Dash needs the team for marketing and awards, and they do not feed each other. So it does have to be done in both platforms. So we'll go ahead and give it just another moment to see if we have any other questions that have come in. Feel free to unmute if you want or type it in the chat box. We'll do our awkward 8-second pause to give you guys time. All right, great. Well, after the fact, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out, shoot me an email, give me a call. We'll get our team set up and correct. Thank you guys so much for your time today. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye now.